Alright, I am back, and in the last video we made this code that basically read this file right here of data from a solar panel system and basically stored it. And now we are going to make a nice plot like this. How do you do that? Well, let's get started. So the first thing that we need to do is we need to import the plotting package for Python. So we're going to type import matplotlib as plt. I'm just going to check that I did everything correctly. One quick addition, we need to add .py plot. So don't forget that. Alright, now we go down to here, and now is where the real fun begins. So, now we need to type plt.plot and then consumption. And that should plot our, let me go check. Right, let's run this. And boom! There's our consumption on a nice plot of watts. Well, we want this in kilowatts, so we're going to have to divide by 1,000. And if we run this, now it's in kilowatts. There we go. So we have a spike, and then it goes down. Nice little plot. And just to be sure, you should also add a period there just to make sure that's a float. It can be difficult sometimes. Just a general thing you should do. And then we can also add this red. So now, boom, our plot's red. So that basically lets you change the color. I'm just going to keep consumption red, and then I'm going to copy this and paste it over a few more times. Alright, and with that all done, you can just run this. And boom! We have a very ugly plot that has some problems. So let's go fix those problems. So those problems, they're mostly like visual problems. So let's look at the one that we just made right here. They just look, it looks kind of ugly, this doesn't have the right date, and we need to definitely add some more stuff. So let's get working on that. So we solved the first problem of our x-axis being a bit off. You see the plot ends here, but it actually goes over to here. So what we're going to do is we're going to go through right here and say x is equal to np.arange parentheses len parentheses date. So basically what that does is it takes the length of the date. So takes how many values are in date, in the array date, and stores that as x. And then if we just add x to each of these plots, boom, and run it, it's actually yes, of course. We need to add one more bit of code just to make sure that it works properly. Because this does some of it, but not all of it. And add another variable x tick. Set that equal to an array of alternating zeros and 12s. And we can go ahead, just copy paste that a few times. Copy it over 8 times, just like that. And then go down here, add another line, plt dot x ticks, and then go in here. I think we can do x, not 100% sure. Try that out. Then step equals 48. I believe that we should get some parentheses going around here. Boom. And then type in a comma here and x tick. Boom. Just one quick thing here, we can't actually do that. So we can just do np.arange, type this out, and then len, and then over here, date, and then, because this is here, that's why we can't use x, sadly. So basically what this is doing is setting a variable xtick to this array, and then having a range here. So what it does is it finds the length of date as we did up here, and then has the step in between each of those equal to 48. And on each of those steps, we have an x tick. So that basically has that plotting the x ticks, which is like the bottom of our plot here, right here. This is the finished product. Then, I believe if we do run it, we have a problem. Let's go bug fix that. Boom! We have it. Just needed to add a simple little parenthesis here. That's all it was. Nice and easy. Anyway, let's move on. So, get another line, and let's get working on, let's just run this right here. Changing these values, getting the names of the plot. Of course, we have to have the titles down here and over here. And we also have to have like a little legend. Just, make it nice. So let's get working on that. So this is pretty simple. plt.xlabel, and then call that time. And then plt.ylabel, and call that power in kilowatts. Boom! So now if we run this, it'll have power in kilowatts on this side, and then time over here. Perfect. So now we have to add a legend. So we type in plt.legend, and then square brackets. Then we have consumption, comma, imported power, comma, exported power. You get the idea. We just kind of go along here, typing basically these variables. So self-consumption, Guess we should capitalize everything just to make it look nice. Exported power, self-consumption, and finally, last but not least, system production. And you gotta remember, gotta put it in these little quotes right here. So boom, if we run this, look, we have a very nice plot, but in a not very nice place. So then we just type loc equals upper left. I believe that will not work because I'm being an idiot and need a comma right there. Boom. So if we run that, then we get a nice little plot, but it's up in the corner blocking our stuff. So we need to add more on the x-axis. And we're going to be doing that by this. Y-lim. And then change this limit to 40. That should hopefully work. Oh, sorry, forgot 0, comma. Always gotta have that decimal there. Just make sure. So now if we run this, boom, it's up at 40. So you should toy around with this number right here, see what's right for your plot. But for my plot, 40 is what is needed to make this look nice. So we have this nice little plot, but like, it's kind of hard to read. I mean, it's nice, it looks great, but it would be nice if it just told us what the weekly production, weekly consumption, weekly imports, exports were. So, that is what we are going to do right now. Oh, and one more thing, we need to add plt.show. So if you want to make any more plots, then this is what you should do. It shows everything here. Just make sure that you can make a new plot and it doesn't add on to this plot right here. So that plot is done. So we go on, and now we want to make some variables that are everything in consumption, import, export. So for you, you might not want this, but I want to know how much we used during the week, how much we created during the week, how much we imported during the week, and how much we exported during the week. And this data is all from the course of 1 week. As 0, 12, this is like midnight, noon, midnight, noon, midnight, noon. Of course, you can change these for your own plot, but it basically stays the same for most plots, the way you do it. So, weekly underscore consumption is equal to np dot sum consumption. Boom. So that takes the sum of everything in consumption and calls that weekly consumption. So now we can just copy that and put that down a few more times. If I can actually paste. Boom. And now all we have to do is just switch out these variables here. Boom. 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 And boom, and Boom. There we go. So it's like, hey, these variables aren't being used, and I also spelled this thing wrong. Boom. I still spelled it. Oh no, I didn't. Cool. So now we gotta print out these variables. That should be pretty easy. We just print. And you can print this in any way that you want. I'm just gonna print it like this. The weekly consumption was, and then space, and then weekly underscore consumption divided by 1,000, because I want this to be in kilowatts. You can do that any way that you want. I'm doing it like this. And then space, well, no space actually, kilowatts. Boom. And then we can just copy paste this if there wasn't an error, which is the error, invalid syntax. Evil invalid syntax. What are you doing? Let's figure this out. Ah, of course. I need to add commas here. Boom. Never forget your commas like I do. So, syntax is fine. And then we can come down here. Boom. Paste that through. And then the weekly imported power, I cannot spell, was, and then weekly import. And then exported power, weekly export, and just go through and do this. And once you're done, you have yourself a finished plot. Pretty nice. Let me just finish this up right here. And then system production. And we can actually just say production. Boom. So you can write whatever you want here. This is just for my specific data here. It's a solar panel system, solar system output, the data out of that. We just have that in a nice little plot. We run this here, and boom, we have our plot, we have our legend, the weekly consumption was, boom, 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 all nice and done. And then if you want to save this plot yourself, I personally don't want to do this, but you can just write plt dot save fig, and then do that. Boom. And of course, can't forget what you want to save it as. So I'm going to save it as awesome plot.png. And then it'll save it as that. Of course, I don't really want to save this. I already have plots, and I don't want to be filling my computer up with plots whenever I run this program. So I'm just going to leave it like that, but you can feel free to do that. So yeah, thank you for watching, and I hope you learned something about how to take data, and turn it into a plot in Python. Thanks for watching. See you next time.